Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Draw Something. This is where I draw live by request. I'm gonna have my drawing cam up here in a second. You can see that up there. Yeah, there's the right direction. Right over there. I'm gonna be drawing here on this piece of paper. You're right, Mary Quackentry. Let's go. But I kind of already gave away tonight's theme. I didn't really think that through. But let me just go ahead and bring it up on the screen here. So tonight's theme is superheroes. So the plan here is I mean, I could draw like real superheroes, like superheroes that already exist in the media. But what I was thinking was to have superheroes that are made up by viewers, because I'm sure that when you were a kid, and I'm sure when anyone was a kid, they had a superhero, made up superhero that they came up with, like pretended to be a superhero. Maybe. And so I just feel like as I wrote here over here, if you have a kid around, ask them what their made up superhero would be, and they might be able to help you with some inspiration if you're if it's not coming to you, because I know that feeling. That's why I actually have this show by request, because I only have so much I can come up with on the spot. And while I'm waiting for some requests to come in, I did come up with a couple of superhero drawing prompts for myself, so I'll go ahead and get started on those. Alright, so the first one I have is, when I was in high school, I drew a comic that was like an ad for, it was an advertising class, and I did a comic that was an advertisement for a car wash. And so it was called Green Turtle Car Wash, so the mascot was, of course, the Green Turtle. Let me go ahead and draw the green turtle here. Give him a tail. I drew the comic in Microsoft Paint, which was my main digital art tool at the time. In fact, I still use it on a fairly regular basis, even though there's probably way more advanced and less limited software I could be using instead. All I can say is it can be kind of difficult for me to break away from something I've used for so long. Again, even if it is really limited. But I've still found some use for Microsoft Paint even in 2021. Let me see here. I'm gonna start the music up again, and there we go. Let me go ahead and trace this over here. Give him 2 little dots for eyes. That's how I drew him back in the day. I don't know if I have it on my hard drive. This is a newer computer than what I had. The computer I had back when I was in high school and I drew it on that computer, obviously... Actually, I think that computer's dead. I think that computer I had when I was in high school died. I got one for my graduation 10 years ago, and I still have that one, but it's only... It doesn't work without its power. If it's not plugged in, it doesn't work. I mean, I had it for a good 7 years before it started to, poop out. So it lasted a while. What's even crazier though is that I have a computer that my dad got in the early 2000s, like at least 2002, and it was handed down to me in 2004 when I started middle school, and I can still plug it in and turn it on, and it'll still turn on. It's a nearly 20-year-old computer, and it still works. Yet, somehow the Compaq I got in 2007 ended up dying in 2010. It's definitely a difference in quality there. Alright, so yeah, kind of just jammering along, and probably should be focusing a little more on drawing the green turtle here. go ahead and just draw the logo too. Green turtle. Car wash. Alright, so yeah, so he's just this pretty normal looking green turtle. But what happens is he'll turn into his superhero alter ego. And let me go ahead and yeah, so his superhero alter ego is named Tortoise Spray. So basically, all of his head and all of his limbs and his tail all shrink into his cell or recede into his shell, and he ends up becoming all of his so now his head and his legs all are big jets of water that pop out of him. Just drawing his shell here. It's weird. I've never been that great at drawing a turtle shell. I mean, I guess I've done it. I feel like it's turned out well a couple of times, but I don't know. Tonight I'm not quite hitting the mark. I mean, I guess it could look worse. All right. So yeah, here we go. We got a shell. There we go. He's spraying a big jet of water out. And yeah, like I said, all of his limbs are replaced with water jets. And of course, his main enemy is, of course, filth. Let him draw a little tear on it. He's just gonna wash away in that deluge of soapy water. And yeah, that's another big thing Tortoise Spray has in his favor is he has automatic soapy water. Like he just generates, he has like a gland that generates soap to go combine with his water. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and draw his name here. His logo, you could say. Torte. Oh boy, I didn't leave myself enough room. Oops. But yes, Tortoise Spray. I draw a big starburst around him like I often do. And yeah, that pretty much covers it. I'll just draw a few. Yeah, there's the filth. Alright, so there we go. Got green turtle turning into Tortoise Spray. I'll go ahead and bring up the larger view. Alright, so on to the second one I had in mind for tonight. Okay, so this next one is, his name is Male Hippo. There was a series of little animations I did several years ago that I called Peanut Butter Sandwich. That was, basically just, literally just nothing but pure randomness. What it was, the first, I mean, just in the first episode, you have Male Hippo, who initially just seems like just an ordinary hippo in a postman's outfit, so really not that normal. But it gets progressively weirder. Yes, married hippos are cute. This hippo is cute too, but he also is not someone you want to mess with, as you'll see why in a minute. Alright, hold on here. That's alright, Mary. Even as a creative type, I burn out. I can burn out really quickly. Like, I think it's not so much that I can't think of anything, it's that there are so many possibilities that I just kind of shut down. I'm just overwhelmed by all the ideas that I could possibly do, and I can't choose one, and anytime I try to flesh out one of those ideas, my mind immediately jumps over to another one, because I have just this super short attention span, and I just collapse. That's why I try to come up with stuff before the show, so that I can have something to start off with and something to focus on. Because if I start the show and don't have anything in mind already, it's gonna be bad. I've had a couple of moments so far in the 27 weeks I've streamed. This is week 28, where I've just been like, what am I gonna draw next? Yeah, it's not good. So yeah, again, just trying to avoid that. But yeah, anyway, we have Male Hippo here, and I guess I'll just, since I'm obviously talking a lot faster than I'm drawing, I'll just go ahead and explain what he's all about. So he's a hippo that delivers mail, but he also moonlights as a crime fighter. He has his magic envelopes that he throws, and they basically they're like time bombs. He throws them and they burst, and they spawn these. They basically, he could be fighting a group of other evil hippos, and he throws the magic envelope at them, and the envelope explodes, and suddenly all three of the hippos, all the evil hippos, are trapped in packages. So yeah, that's his superpower. Is he traps his enemies in packages. It's actually pretty effective. The boxes are sealed pretty tight. Alright, so go ahead and draw his envelope here. So I've made a couple new updates to my channel since my last stream. Probably the biggest one is I finally have a custom channel point name. If you look down in the bottom right corner where my channel points are, I've called them Frog Monk points. Frog monks are a weird little hybrid creature that I inadvertently created on week 2 of Draw Something. And how it came about was, I was supposed to be drawing chipmunks roasting on a spit above roasting on a spit above a big fire. But when I actually drew the chipmunks, they ended up looking more like chipmunks with frog-shaped heads. So I decided to just call them frog monks. And so I've incorporated them into a couple other drawings I've done over the last 26, 27 weeks. And so I decided to just make them my channel points. Excuse me. Alright, so there we go. We got male hippo here. Let me go ahead and draw his angry eyebrows. Now I gotta show him in action. Let me go ahead and... Gonna have to... Took up a lot of the space here drawing his main portrait, so I'm gonna have to draw a little bit smaller here for these next 2 scenes. It's gonna be a before and after shot of him throwing the envelope, and then the envelope turning into 3 big boxes and trapping all of his foes. But yeah, the series of animated shorts I made, they were only like a minute long each because it's so much randomness packed into 60 seconds. And I was gonna do more than 3 shorts. It ended up only being 3 because I kind of just ran out of juice. I just felt like I didn't really have any. I couldn't really come up with any more craziness. Like I just kind of crammed all of it into those 3 1-minute shorts. Alright, let me draw some magic and stars around the magic envelope. So yeah, like one of the other shorts I did in that peanut butter sandwich trilogy was a kumquat festival where the people come and eat. Basically, they eat the kumquats, or actually, they don't eat the kumquats. They eat the outside rind because that's what you're supposed to eat when you do kumquats. The whole thing started like a year earlier when I was tricked into eating a kumquat by, I think it was my dad. He said, "Hey, you should really try this. This is so good." And I just bit into it, expecting, something good, and I ended up getting this incredibly nasty, bitter taste. It was so bad. And apparently, yeah, you're supposed to only eat the rind and just not eat the core. So that inspired me to do that short where it's a kumquat festival and the people who attend, the attendees, I should say, basically they eat the rind, but they drop the core into a kind of a garbage can, and then those cores are used for, they have this like shooting activity where people eat the cores and then they end up gaining the power to shoot fire out of their mouths, so they start blasting stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the level of insanity that I put into those shorts. Pretty weird. Okay, so there we go. He's throwing the envelope at his foes here. And I'm just going to basically just kind of more or less copy what was in the original short. Might add a little, few little embellishments because I don't remember it exactly. Like, I'll go ahead and give him, like, Viking horns. Because that makes them look more evil, I guess. I hope that's not offensive. These aren't, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying all Vikings are bad. Just these particular Viking hippos are not very nice. Or maybe you could even, you know, twist it even further and maybe male hippo isn't actually the hero, he's the villain, and the Viking hippos are the ones who are fighting for good, and they're trying to defeat male hippo because he's doing something very bad. I don't know, you can really look into it. Maybe there's some double agentry stuff happening, I don't know. The possibilities are endless. But yeah, so how I drew it in the original short was they have these spears that are where the points are made of pizza, because why not? They're triangles. Oh, and yeah, I should probably draw them not looking angry, but looking terrified. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and draw their eyebrows kind of high up and concave down, whatever that is called. Just, that's how I draw them when they look, like, if they were lower on the face, they would be, you know, just kind of their sad look, but if they're higher up, it's like they're, you know, scared, like, really terrified. So let me go ahead and draw that. Alright, let me draw another hippo here. So as well as the channel points that I got set up, I also have a couple of channel point redemption set up. It's I think the two that I have are hydrate and stretch. Actually, there's others, but those are the custom ones that I activated. So I got my DJ Mike Brady water bottle here. Figured I would need it. I tend to get kind of dehydrated while I'm doing the stream. I think that's kind of the case with everyone. That's why that's a thing in the first place. But I'm starting to feel just a little dehydrated, so if someone who's watching could redeem that hydrate channel point redemption, I would greatly appreciate it. And Mary is on it. Thank you very much, Mary. Ah, that's good. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and settle for 2. Alright, so that's the before. He's throwing the envelope. Now we get to the after. Marky Mark, wow, great to see you. Welcome. Casino Man, you know what? I could probably come up with something for that. There's a lot of possibilities. I think there with that. You know, he could like use poker chips for. He could throw poker chips as projectiles. He can also. I could incorporate some the cards or something, cards, chips, slot machines. There's a lot of things I could do there. I just hope that my creative juices will actually be flowing and do that request justice. I mean, I don't know, Mark. I think you actually made a very good request. It's just a matter of whether or not I'll be up to realizing its full potential. I mean, the problem is that the format for this show is it's kind of on the spot, so... You know, I could maybe come up with something if I spent like a half hour ruminating on it, but I don't want to do that on camera because that's not very entertaining to watch. So yeah, there we go. The two hippo warriors are trapped in boxes with stamps and written addresses, the whole shebang. And that's it. Let me go ahead and write magic envelope. Marky Mark Wad, that could very well be one of his big main attacks. That actually said that's probably his primary attack, because let's be honest, that's kind of what casinos ultimately are about, is taking your money. I really hope no casino managers are watching. No offense. Alright, so, Super package attack! And you know what? I just realized the first drawing I did, I never wrote my initials and dated it. That's what I usually do on every drawing, and I completely forgot to do it for this one. So let me go ahead and bring that back up on the camera, and I'll take care of that. There we go. All right. I think I'm done with this one too. So I'll go ahead and 9/22/21. Somehow we're already near the end of September 2021. It's the first day of fall, in fact. I forgot to mention that. Oh, and because I'm clearly kind of scatterbrained at the moment, I forgot to bring up the larger view. So there we go, male hippo. His magic envelope, he throws it at the enemy hippos, they get trapped in boxes with stamps and everything. Stamps, tape, written addresses. The bad hippos have pizza spears. And that pretty much sums it up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start on this request from Marky Mark Wah. It is Casino Man. And there's just a multitude of things I can do with this. It's just a matter of, you know, actually forming them into a cohesive idea that I can actually put on paper. And that often is the biggest challenge of all. Alright, let me see here. Alright, so I'm thinking for his head, I'm going to draw one of the slot machine tumblers. Actually, let me make it a little bit larger. Gotta rub the extra stuff off my pencil eraser there. The thing that keeps popping into my head while I'm thinking of how to draw this is there was a boss in the game Cuphead, which I never actually played. I just saw the gameplay footage of. That was the boss of a casino level, and he had like a big dice block for his head. I kind of wanted to do that, but I also don't want to necessarily rip that off. Hi, L. Lowry. How are you doing tonight? Great to see you here. Alright, so yeah, let me go ahead and draw the slot machine tumbler here on his head, or for his head. It's his head. And it's currently showing a strawberry, so his head is literally a strawberry. There's nothing I can really add to that. Alright, let me go ahead and trace over this. So L. Lowry, right now I'm currently drawing Casino Man, as requested by Marky Mark Waugh. And all I've managed to come up with so far is his head is a slot machine tumbler, just a single slot machine tumbler that constantly flips around, so his face constantly changes. He'll never have the same face. Like whatever, his face will change. Like you can literally turn around for a second and his face will change. It's a kind of an interesting twist. Marky Mark Waugh, I'm thinking, you know, if his main power is stealing people's money, he's probably a villain. Ah. Slot machine tumbler head constantly changing face. And yeah, right now it's a strawberry. I'll go ahead and draw his body here, which is gonna be based on a playing card, but it's gonna constantly change. It's got these digital lights here for the numbers. Oh, and I just got an idea. And also, maybe I should draw something a little different. I was gonna do a 3 of clubs, but I just realized I can't remember exactly how to draw a club. So I'll go ahead and just do spades instead. But yeah, okay, so here's the twist with this guy is he comes up with a suit on his card body, and it can be any of the 4. It can be spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds. But yeah, what'll happen is he'll launch one of those suits out of himself, and it'll go and attack the nearest person. This guy's a madman. Sorry, so I got that going. Let me see what else I can do here. His arms are made up of poker chips. So it's like all different colored poker chips. It's like he's kind of got like rainbow colored arms, you could say. Alright, so yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw Casino Man's first victim here. And that, you know what? considering how I'm going to draw him, I think that hair looks way too well put together. He's going to be yelping, so I'm going to make his hair like all wild and crazy. It shouldn't be that well combed if he's flipping out. Okay, yeah, so here's the... here's what I'm thinking here. So it's going to poke him right in the rear end. And this causes all of his money to go flying out of him, Sonic the Hedgehog style. And oops, I put the circle in the wrong spot there. There we go. But yeah, like, that's how it works. The spade literally pokes him right in the butt, and all of his money goes flying out. It's just not even like his wallet pops out of his pocket and then the money falls out of it. No, the money just literally is literally like Sonic the Hedgehog. Just literally bursts out of him all over the place. It's pretty remarkable, actually. I've never seen it in real life, but I hear from some very trusted witnesses that it's pretty wild. Hold on here. Alright, so this attack is called being ka-chinged. There we go. So yeah, this guy, poor guy, just got ka-chinged by Casino Man. Alright, now here we got the, alright, so, okay, here's another, cool little twist I'm gonna do is, so his hands are dice blocks, or, dice blocks? No, dies. They're dice, they're dice, they're dice. Words are not coming to me like they should. And, the little dots on the front of them, pop out as his fingers. It's unfortunately not especially clear from, this viewpoint. We'll go ahead and do his thumb, so it'll be a little more clear. There we go. So his thumb pokes out there, and it's one of the dots. Then I'll go ahead and do the same thing over here. So yeah, you can just have as many fingers as he wants. Just another... This guy's really creepy, come to think of it. I mean, he can change his face at will. He can have these little symbols on his body just pop out and stab people in the butt. and steal all their money from them. And now he's got these hands where he can give himself as many fingers as he wants. Well, almost. I mean, how many dots are there on total on a die? I can't do the calculation in my head at the moment, but it's got to be at least like 30 or 40. So that's 30 or 40 per hand. So you can have like 80 like as much as 80 fingers on both hands. That's not right at all. Okay, so let me see if there's any other casino hallmarks I've missed. I got the slot machine, I got the dice, I got the poker chips for the arms, I got the card. Mark, you spend every day in a casino, or almost every day in a casino. Is there any other hallmarks that I'm missing? I'll go ahead and give him a top hat. That's honestly probably one of the most recurring elements in this show is the top hat. I've drawn a lot of characters with top hats. But right now I'll go ahead and, I guess in the meantime I'll go ahead and just do annotations for these. Thank you, Mark Wah. I still haven't drawn the lower half of his body yet. I still need to figure out what that's going to be. Like I said, if there's any casino hallmarks that I'm forgetting, which I could very well be. I've never been to a casino. I'm not the gambling type. These are just the casino hallmarks I can think of off the top of my head. Alright, let me see. Okay, I don't want to keep stalling for too long. I gotta figure this out. I guess if nothing else, I could just do, his legs could be more poker chips. And I just gotta think of something really creative to do for the feet. Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, his feet. This isn't really a casino-related thing necessarily, but it's a. I think it just kind of ties into the, him taking away your money. He has these big blocky feet that can double as. They basically open up and turn into vacuum cleaners or vacuum suckers that suck in the money. He's ka-chings his victims, then he sucks the money into himself and just gets filthy rich. Emphasis on filthy. It's not money made fair and square. It's cards, dice, chips, slot machines. Alright, got all of those. Also, I should probably... I'm going to go ahead and make this more solid. I swear, it's such a force of habit. I draw, softly. I just draw these soft lines, just kind of sketching before I do the more solid line, because I feel like it's easier to erase the softer lines. But really, it doesn't matter that much. It's just a habit that I've gotten myself into, and it's probably one of many habits that I could probably easily break out of because it's not benefiting me in any way, but man, it's hard to break out of habits sometimes. Old habits die hard is what they say. Sorry, I'm just rambling here. Oh, a roulette wheel. Oh man. Feeling kind of bad now. I completely spaced on that. Let me see what I can do here. I don't know. I think I might have to, like, redo the feet or redo the body or something here. I don't know. It's not really coming to me. Probably just have to keep that part out of it. But thank you, Mark Wah. That was something that I completely neglected to include. Vacuum feet. I'll just go ahead and finish tracing over the money. And once again, everyone watching, I strongly encourage, if you have an idea if you have a superhero that, like, if you as a kid came up with your own superhero and their own superpowers, if you can remember it, drop the request in the chat, and I'll try and bring it to life here on the paper. I guess, there's actually another couple superheroes I made up as a kid that I can do next. Let me just see if I got anything else to trace over here on Marky Mark Wah's request. No, I think I'll go ahead and call it good. Already spent a fair amount of time on this one. Probably like at least 20 minutes. That's usually where I try to cut myself off. So let me go ahead and bring up the larger view. There we go. Casino Man. Initially was going to be a superhero. I think it's safe to say he's definitely a villain. He doesn't even have a human-like face. That's already not a great sign. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that. But yeah, he's not good. His main motive is stealing your money, whether it's fair or not. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw another. I'm gonna draw. It was a pair of superheroes, kind of a Batman and Robin type, if you will. So the characters that I'm gonna draw now are Explodo Man and Laser Boy. And their names kind of give away what their powers are. Explodo Man can create bombs and throw them, so he's basically Bomb Man from Mega Man, not the most original. I think I was only 12 when I came up with him, and I probably thought it was like the most novel idea, but no, it's just Bomb Man from Mega Man. Actually, the funny thing is, I hadn't even played a Mega Man game at that point, so I wouldn't have even known. But yeah, these were characters that I actually referenced. I remember there was my stepmom used to run a daycare in home. She actually just restarted a preschool in her in-home preschool, so she's still she's been doing it like on and off for close to 20 years now. But back when she first started her in-home daycare, one of her first daycare kids, him and I used to play out in the backyard and pretended to be Explodo Man and Laser Boy. He was Laser Boy, I was Explodo Man. And you know what? I actually remember exactly what it was that inspired the creation of these characters. This was 2005. There was a Disney movie that came out called Sky High that was about a high school for superheroes. And I remember at the time, it was like probably like my favorite movie. I was 12, so pretty much, it was kind of like it was at a time when, any new movie I saw was my favorite movie. Yes, Marky Mark Wah, he is da bomb. He's not the bomb, he's da bomb. Very important distinction. But yeah, so my stepmom, Cindy, took the daycare, and as all of us, the daycare, I went with. I wasn't actually part of the daycare, but I was, I went with the daycare kids so we all went and saw Sky High in the theater, and afterwards, me and Ian, that was his name, basically came up with our own superheroes. I guess Ian was maybe came up with one of them. I came up with the other one. I don't remember who came up with who. But yeah, we after we saw the movie, we're like, oh, what kind of superhero would you be? And we decided on Explodo Man and Laser Boy. So that's how these characters came to be. And yeah, again, Sky High was just a movie that I just freaked out over as a kid. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the greatest movie ever. Looking back, it was cheesy as heck. I mean, I hear it's got a pretty decent following. And it's kind of considered one of the more underrated Disney live action films. But it was cheesy. It was so cheesy. But at the time, when I was like 12 or 13, I did not care. I was like, oh my gosh, this movie is amazing. But yeah, just kind of a little anecdote there, you know, kind of detailing the background of Explodo Man and Laser Boy. And Vat will even draw their nemesis in this drawing too, but of course I gotta draw both the heroes. I'm still drawing Explodo Man because I'm... It's like my mouth runs a million miles an hour and my pencil just can't keep up with it. But yeah, let me go ahead and write his name here. Explodo Man. And yeah, so for those who don't already know, I've drawn a lot of comics over the years. Going all the way back to like grade school, I've drawn lots and lots of little comics. Some of them have never been completed. I started them and then never finished them. And I don't think I ever actually made a full Explodo Man and Laser Boy comic. I always kind of just had to make cameos in other comics I made. Like there was a comic book series starring me, where in one episode I was in one of the issues it started with me playing a video game, and it was an Explodo Man and Laser Boy video game. There was another book I wrote where the characters were playing a video game, and it was Explodo Man and Laser Boy the video game. So they made appearances like that, but I never actually made a comic starring them, which is a little weird. Seems like that could have worked. Alright, so there we go. I got Explodo Man, kind of got a big, got big fleshy cheeks. And he's got a bomb, which he seems awfully comfortable holding this near to detonation bomb in his hand. But I guess maybe he's able to hold the fuse from going any further, or I think he's able to hold it off from detonating while it's in his hand, so he doesn't have any reason to fear. It's probably one of his powers. Okay, enough rambling. Let me go ahead and draw Laser Boy. Who, from what I remember correctly, kind of looks like Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. That's an odd connection to make. But yeah, he's kind of got the hair. Actually, maybe I'm not remembering it correctly. It's been so long since I've drawn these characters, I don't remember 100% how they looked. This is Explodo Man and Laser Boy, the 2021 edition. This is the reboot of Explodo Man and Laser Boy. Reboots are all the rage, so why not give these guys a reboot? And, yeah, trust me on this. Now that I'm drawing Laser Boy, he really does kind of look more like a villain than a hero. He's a hero. Though I did actually come with, like, a sort of a story arc. Like, I never actually drew it or wrote it, but it was like a story arc I had in my head where, Laser Boy gets fed up being the second banana to Explodo Man, and he decides to turn evil. Probably very much inspired by that one SpongeBob episode where Barnacle Boy turns evil because Mermaid Man doesn't give him the respect he deserves. I was a huge SpongeBob fan back in the day. I would imagine that probably played a big part in inspiring that arc. Ooh, hold on a second. Oh, man, it's just that little bend in the laser. I don't like that. I'm gonna correct it. It's such a little thing, but it bothers me because it's just how I am. There we go. I fixed it. It looks more straight now. Hold on a second. I'm gonna redraw his leg there. Ooh. Oh, pardon me. There's another channel point redemption I put was a stretch. I just stretched without a redemption, channel point redemption. That might be against the Twitch rules, but yeah, starting to get a little bit sore from sitting in the same position for almost an hour. Which, man, it's been almost an hour since I started. That went by fast. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and draw an ampersand here. It's Explodo Man and give him that stylized lettering. I'm gonna, gosh, I'm not, I had an idea there. I'm not gonna do it. I'll erase that. Alright, so I think that'll do. Go ahead and add my initials and the date, and I'll bring up the larger view. Let me straighten it up. Mary Park Contrary, thank you so much. There we go, Explodo Man and Laser Boy. And as a bonus, I'm going to go ahead and flip the paper over and draw their nemesis on the back. So their nemesis is a not so nice guy known as Dr. Poison. And the one thing I distinctly remember about his design was that he had a like kind of an Erlenmeyer flask for his head. So unlike the, I mean, I never really got it, never really figured out a backstory for him. It's like he might have been a human at one point. He might still be part human, but his head is it's an Erlenmeyer flask. But yeah, that was kind of like the big thing I remembered. The rest of his design was just kind of like, I mean, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and just give him a little more dimension here. Like I would just draw just a generic body for him back in the day. Oh, Planetary 121 is in with a great request. Thank you, Planetary, and welcome to the show. Great to see you here. Mega Frog. I like that. Alright. Let me go ahead and finish up what I'm doing here. This won't take too much longer. Hold on. So he's got these big old hands with scary spikes on them. Those are all spikes. These little circles here could probably be a little more clear. Ah, Sean C72, great to see you here. Right now, tonight I'm doing a superhero theme, and it's superheroes that were made up by the viewers. Could be any time in their life. Could be when they were kids. Could be right now. Could be when they were teenagers too. Just any superhero you might have, come up with yourself at one point or another. Or if you have an idea at the moment, that works too. But yeah, so far it's mostly been superheroes that I came up with as a kid. Though Marky Mark did throw in a really great request for a Casino Man. That was pretty awesome. And right now I'm drawing the villain, because I should have called the theme Superheroes and Supervillains. It is kind of exclusive to just have superheroes. Like, the villains can be just as interesting as the heroes. In fact, they can sometimes be more interesting. But yeah, here we go. We got the got Dr. Poison here with his Erlenmeyer flask for a head. I'll even go ahead and draw some bubbles coming out of it. And I'll go ahead and draw him his logo here. Hold on, didn't like how that went. Try that again. And yeah, one final note about Explodo-Man and Laser Boy. Let me just show them for those who didn't get to see it yet. So Explodo-Man and Laser Boy hail from the planet not Krypton, Argon. We actually, that was something that Ian, kind of got on me for back in the day. Was I was thinking, oh, they came from the same they came from the same planet as Superman, but he really wanted to not be from the same planet as Superman. So I said, okay, let's say Argon. It's another element sounding name, or it's a real element. So I just kind of went with that. So yeah, they hail from the planet Argon, which I think we decided hadn't actually been destroyed, unlike Krypton. I lost my train of thought there. Alright, there we go. Got it done. Let me go ahead and transition to the larger view. There we go. Dr. Poison, the arch nemesis of Explodo-Man and Laser Boy. Now I'm going to go ahead and get started on a request for Planetary 121. Planetary 121, I was going to do your request next. You might be pushing your luck there with that last comment you made. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just kidding. No, I'll totally do your request still. Just, no, the dad jokes. I was actually making dad jokes on an art stream I was on last night. It was someone doing Pokemon drawings, and I said something along the lines of, someone showed me their electric Pokemon once. I was shocked. And then I said, Charmander once gave me a serious insult. It was a sick burn. Just groaners. Alright, Mega Frog. So his power is that he can make people croak, but with but a thought. With but a thought. Alright. I think I got a funny idea for how this could how I could draw this. Grounded with Geodude. Planetary 121. Is that a game or a TV show or a movie or something? I've never heard of that. I really haven't been in the loop with gaming since probably the late 2000s when I was really actively playing video games. Don't really do that so much anymore. So I might just have not even heard about it. Hold on a second, I want to change that a little bit. Oh, the Pokemon Geodude. Okay, went just clear over my head, miles above my head. Sorry about that. Okay, so Mega Frog. Alright, so I'm thinking just give him these big muscular arms. Alright, so yeah, big muscular arms. There's a twist coming at the end of this. Well, I mean, the twist is off. I mean, I guess. The twist is that he has this big muscular physique. He's big and bulky. It looks like his main power is he's gonna, beat the snot out of you. But in reality, all he's gonna do is just make you croak. That's it. Just make you croak. Dun, 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 dun. All right. I don't know. These legs aren't looking quite like they should. It feels like they should be a lot bulkier than this. They're looking kind of, despite being bulky, they're looking really wimpy. They're just not very big. They should be like, monstrous. I think that's skin there. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so maybe I'm not the absolute best at drawing muscular legs. So I'll go ahead and move on from this. Let me see if I can draw some rock hard abs on him though. Alright, there we go. And, I mean, I already drew horns on another character tonight, but I don't know, maybe I'm just, my creative juices aren't fully firing, so I'll go ahead and do horns on this guy too. So yeah, just try to make him as intimidating as possible. I'll go ahead and add fire coming out of his head. That'll make him pretty scary. Again, just gonna make him as intimidating as possible. Like, he's just going to be the most scary creature. He's going to have the scariest attack you could possibly imagine. And yet, in actuality, all he really does is, make you croak. Hey, you know what happened to the frog who got too old to live? He croaked. There we go. There's a dad joke. Alright, so he's alright, so the boy's croaking. Let's go ahead and make some other animals croak too. An animal that I keep returning to every now and then is the platypus, because it's just one of the most unique animals out there. Alright, so there we go. We got a platypus croaking, we got a boy croaking. And yeah, of course, how he's doing this is he's merely thinking about it. And then those thoughts get set free. Alright, I'm gonna draw one more creature here that's started croaking. I'll go ahead and do a yeah, I don't know if I want to do a duck, because I already got a platypus here. I want it to be something a little different. I'll go ahead and do a fennec fox. So let me go ahead and draw the thought entering his head. His ear, actually, is entering through his ear. Pardon me, I gotta stretch again. So yeah, there we go. We got the thought heading into his brain through his ears. And it's making him croak too. Naked Frog's got everyone croaking, because even with all this bustle, all these powers, he just has to think to make them croak, and they do. And you can just it's all about the simple pleasures in life. Just watching people croak, or listening to people croak, or people croak, or platypi croak, or fennec foxes croak. It's one of the simple pleasures of life. Alright, so I think that'll do. That was for Planetary 121. Twitch. We go ahead and add the date here. Thank you, Mary Quite Contrary. Let me bring up the larger view so you can get a closer look at it. Alright, there we go. So yeah, his gimmick is that his superpower is that he can make people croak, or people or animals croak with just a thought. Just the thought of making them croak. You can see the thought flying away here, and then you can see another thought that's entering this fennec fox's mind by way of his ear, and it's making him croak as well. Alright, so looks like I've been going for an hour 20 minutes. I honestly don't really have any other... I don't think I can think of anything else. Planetary 121, I'm glad you approve. I'm gonna go ahead and I think do the. Let me see how many drawings I got. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. So I got 6 drawings tonight. That's not bad. I could probably stop here. Let me go ahead and do the end of show recap as I always do. If anyone has a last minute request they want to throw in, I would be happy to draw it. But for now, let me go ahead and go over what I've drawn tonight. So I started out with Green Turtle, of the mascot for Green Turtle Car Wash, who has a superhero alter ego, Torta Spray, where he's got big jets of water that come out his legs, his head, all jets of water, and then he sprays a jet of water from his water head. Let me go ahead and add some water lines there that sprays away all the filth. He is a car wash mascot after all. This was something I came up with in high school when I was given an assignment to do an advertisement comic. I think that was the assignment. So yeah, I did an ad comic for a car wash, and I came up with the Green Turtle who turns into Torta Spray, who his main power is spraying water and getting rid of filth. Alright, next up is another superhero creation of mine. It's Male Hippo. He's a hippo who delivers mail, but he also moonlights as a crime fighter. He has a magic envelope that he throws at his enemies. Thank you, Mary Quite Contrary. I appreciate it so much. He uses his super package attack, and you can see the evil Viking hippos have pizza spears. Scary. He throws the magic envelope at them, and they get trapped in boxes that are stamped, taped up, fully written addresses on there, the whole shebang. It's pretty impressive stuff, honestly. That's a cool power to have. I'd like that power. It really brings a new definition to going postal. Ha ha ha! I hate myself. Okay, next drawing. This was for Marky Mark Wah on Twitch. Actually, I think these were all from Twitch, so yeah, it's Marky Mark Wah. He requested a Casino Man. So what I came up with here was this weirdo robotic monstrosity. He has a slot machine tumbler for a head, so his face is constantly changing. That tumbler just keeps changing and changing. It could be a 7 1 minute. It could be a strawberry the next minute. He's got dice blocks for hands. He's got poker chips for arms and legs, for that matter. And he's got a top hat, because he's got to have a top hat. He's got his card body here, which has a digital sign for how many of whatever suit he is. So right now he has 3 of them, but one of them is escaping to poke this guy right in the butt. And Sonic the Hedgehog style, all of his money comes bursting out. And then he uses his vacuum feed to suck up the money and take it for himself, because at the end of the day, casinos just want your money. And yeah, the attack is being ka-chinged. So yeah, there's Casino Man. Next up, another couple of superheroes I came up with in middle school. It's Explodo Man and Laser Boy. Explodo Man can make bombs out of thin air and then throw them at people. Laser Boy can shoot lasers out of his eyes. And looks suspiciously similar to Sideshow Bob. I don't know, man. It's a that is what it is. And then of course there's their nemesis here, Dr. Poison, who initially when I drew him as a kid, it was just his main trait was he had an Erlenmeyer flask for a head. And he's got poison chemical bubbling in there. You can see the bubbles rising out of the cylinder. But I also drew, in this case, I drew him with a big hulking body. He's got spiked boots and spiked hands. It's a scary dude. And then I guess this is the last drawing for tonight. It's Mega Frog, which I never actually wrote his name on here. I should probably do that. But yeah, Mega Frog's main power is he can make people or animals croak just by thinking about it. That telekinetic power is scary. Can be scary stuff. But alright, I think that'll do. That's all the drawings I did tonight. Thank you to everyone who made requests, and also to everyone who just hung out here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find a raid target. Looks like it's going to be Sanctuary, official DJ John Robinson, once again. He's always a reliable source of entertainment, and he's doing I believe he's doing Rapid Fire Wednesday. Yes. That's what he does on Wednesdays. So I'm going to go ahead and raid him now. Once again, thank you to everyone who made requests and just hung out in the chat. I will be back on Saturday to color all these drawings that I did tonight. So Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific. It'll be color something. And I'll just be coloring stuff on screen, coloring it digitally. Sean C72, thank you so much. I'm just kind of rambling at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and raid out. So have a great night, everyone. Take care. Enjoy Sanctuary.